Here we are back live on Sirius TV. As you can see, the juniors of the under-12s have just run out, and in fact they've got the flag, which is the centenary logo, and a beautiful logo it is as well. What a wonderful sight. Look at that. The kids just sat down, and in the background you can hear Stand By Me, which is a request from Trinity College Rugby. It is part of their rugby song, the old classic. Trinity celebrating 100 years in no uncertain manner. And we're just waiting for the two teams to run out. They will run on both sides of the flag for the official kickoff. There we go. The adrenaline, the rush, the training, the waiting, all of it. And the official kickoff for Singer Schools Rugby in Sri Lanka. What a fabulous occasion. Crowd almost standing up, everybody very excited. The crackers go off on one side, and we expect a lot more crackers in the middle. Trinity today will have a task on their hands, but we are all expecting good, positive rugby, played in the best spirit, embracing the best traditions of rugby in Sri Lanka. And what a picture postcard to broadcast around the world. These pictures going live around Sri Lanka. Audience of about 3 to 3.5 million people will be watching this. Thank you very much for your company, wherever you are in Sri Lanka. The strength and unity of our country is in our youth, and in the future of our country lies in their hands. This should be part of that makeup. These young men will go on to be the future of our country. There we go, the two teams ready for the official run-on. Of course, time taken live from Bogambara. 1 hour of 60 minutes of absolute joy in the middle. And who will come home with the big W? In fact, there are two trophies. This is a celebration, so the competition really one part of the school's lead, but very much the opening for the centenary celebrations. Trinity have set themselves a huge task in trying to raise 100 million rupees as part of this centenary celebrations. It's a great challenge, and I believe this is kicking off that challenge. There's a whole line of events coming up after this, and the centenary committee, with the principal firmly behind them, and very hard work indeed going on behind the scenes. Nalin Vettasinga, Ashan Ratwata, Chris Halangada, Tikri Yellapola, and the whole lineup. I'm sure the Board of Governors of Trinity College should be very proud of what is a great team effort. All of this you see today here in the middle, and supported fabulously by Singer, Sri Lanka, Kios Foods, and Mobitel. So we're just waiting for the Kingswood side. Hush crowd. Beautiful pictures, brothers and sisters, husbands and wives, everybody here today. The ground packed, chock-a-block. And you're about to hear the loudest cheer when the two teams come bursting through those changing room doors. And they will run round the flag, the centenary flag, and onto the park. Here we go. This is Kingswood. Sri Lanka Schools champions running on. Sri Lanka Schools rugby match of the century. Now inches away from Kickoff. Led out by Navin Wijayatunga, the number 8 and skipper. The referees run on, led by Roy Fernando. And now we wait for the host team, Trinity College. Bogambara Stadium just about to explode. Two schools go up. Everything's live. Here come Trinity. Madhurabadabendi lining out his side. Very famous lineup of Trinitians here. The crackers go up, the under 10s come on. There we go. Everything's lighting up. I believe here's the position card for Kingswood. Key position, of course, at number 8, the skipper. He's going to have to control it. And Dev Anand, the number 10. How critical is his lineup today? He has to get it right on the day. And I believe we've just got a haka coming up from Kingswood. So we'll go to the haka and we'll come back straight away. There it is. Beautiful sight. They're in. There's a challenge. Nothing given, nothing lost. The Sri Lanka Schools rugby match of the century. We're going to kick off live. We're going to have a game on our hands. Here's Trinity, Imalka Shehan and Sean, Kosala Nishanta, Anujan, Kasun, Mahin, number 8, critical, number 8, Kenneth the linkman. And of course Manikam will be a key player. Krishan, Chamira, Sariratna, Satya, Rajita and Sajid. Look up live the commentary. And here we go. Enjoy. Roy Fernando. Task on his hands. All of you in Sri Lanka live on Sirisa. This is the Sri Lanka Schools game of the century.
Kingswood lined up with 8 Sri Lanka schoolboy players. Have a tremendous side, unbeaten for 3 years. But Trinity is now on the attack. And we see here, tremendous drive there by Sean Manikasekara. Ball coming out again as Manika is going up, down to the center. And it's 10 meters. Start for Chandrashan.
Absolutely brilliant. Just 91 minutes to really come out with the right attitude, Ajit. I think they're switched on. They know what they have to do. They're playing a very big side, but it doesn't mean anything, does it?
Yes, it doesn't mean. They got the Trinity side pounding at the goal line. 4 phases have been won by them. There's Anujan and the center. But secured again by Trinity. That's a good game, but taken over by Wijayatunga. The referee got something here. Scrum.
And that's referee Fernando just not happy. He's giving a scrum, Ajit, and I believe it was probably for a infringement.
Yes, Chandrashan, I was saying this is going to be an emotional spreader here at Bogambara. Crowd is really coming here with has come here with a great passion, and we see that even the two teams are locking horns, going at each other. The haka was something tremendous.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, Ajit, tell me about the first scrum in these situations. It's so important, isn't it?
Yes, I think that's where we start browbeating the other side, getting on top. And this scrum is very important to see how it's going. And the ball goes loose. And this is Kingswood. Don't underestimate this Kingswood side. Unbeaten for 3 years. Only last year that they had one drawn game. But apart from that, they have won all their games, Chandrashan, for 3 years. They won the league and the knockout. out. What a performance by this Hill Country School.
Absolutely, and it's the example set by Candy Rugby, because it's so good to see that the nursery has picked up, and Kingswood in particular have shown what it takes to be a champion professional outfit.
Yes, king of the mountain, you can
King of Randall Hills.
Yeah, Randall Hill. What a sight, what a performance, what a school with so much heart to come out of nothing into this rugby arena and then dominate it. This is fantastic. This school has been doing tremendous exploits here, Candy, and all over this island.
That's very true, Ajit. And of course today, Trinity a little bit, they are definitely the underdog on the day, because Kingswood are really a dominant side in school rugby in Sri Lanka. But that being said, it's all in the middle now, isn't it?
I was saying, Kingswood has 8 Sri Lanka schoolboy players. That alone speaks volumes of this side. Trinity has only one. So I believe Trinity are underdogs here, and they have only 7 players, whereas Kingswood have 8 Sri Lanka players in their side.
Well, I think Trinity will rise to the occasion. Look at that, 6-80, plays 6-60. So Trinity have an advantage in the forward 8. Ajit, tell me about that advantage. How important will that be?
I think it all counts at the end, Sanderson. Fitness is the key, and all that counts at the end. The extra weight you put in to the rucks and balls. Trinity are not securing a good ball in the threes yet. The forwards are dominating, but the threes need to get their act together.
So there's Dilroy Fernando. Trinity they had a very good rush right at the start, but after that Kingswood have managed to now just assert themselves a little bit. But have a look at this. This is not part of the plan, Ajit, is it?
No, it's not. They should be playing Pacers rugby at this time, trying to get on top of Kingswood. I think there's a bit of overexcitement here, and Kingswood are settling quietly. This is a professional side. Ronnie Ibrahim had trained these kids, these young lads, and they are a very professional side. They know how to get back into the game. I've seen them doing that many times.
Ajit, tell me about this. When a side has that much success, there is a chance that you talk about the complacency factor. But this is the start of a new season. They've got 8 big boys, 8 rep players. Trinity on the back foot, certainly, but psychologically, who will settle first, and how important is it to dominate today?
Yes, again, composure is of essence here, and this Kingswood side has come out of many difficult situations because of their composure. I've seen them in a final where they are down with St. Thomas's, but they came back and hammered them at the end. So they have a lot of composure, and they are able to hold their own here. But Trinity has to really go and upset them.
But Trinity's game plan today should be to really try and break up Kingswood's play, and then try and get some positives on them, push them back a little bit, and try and get behind them, Ajit.
Yes, I think they should not allow Kingswood to get their rhythm, because once they get their rhythm going, it becomes a very dangerous side. We see it happening here. There are 3 faces coming out, long ball to number 12, Vidar Tunga, who's a highest try scorer, and there's something here that Kingswood just lays it forward there. What a shame, what a move. You see, my friends all over the island, what this side is made of. They are unbeaten for 3 years, and you can see that glimpse of that just now. In the first 50 minutes, we see them coming back from a difficult situation, dominating Trinity, and also almost scoring on the wing here.
Absolutely, Ajit, and the number 14 there, he just couldn't get the offload. Had he had the offload right, it would have been a try for Kingswood for sure. But Trinity, the one defender there, did manage to do the work. Today, of course, Trinity will have to really make sure that they muster and get the fitness right as well, Ajit, because if they play too much too soon, they might just play into Kingswood's hand.
Yes, I think they need to settle down. That over-excitement of the hype of this game may have got into them. I think Trinity more than Kingswood have been really hyped up by the old boys and the others, so they need to settle, they need to get their wits about them, and then start playing the game plan.
Tell me this, Ajit, I'm sorry, you're talking about the old boys putting pressure on the Trinity side. I think this is a very critical factor. I've heard this from the lads so many times, that so much pressure is put before the game, Ajit.
I would say that especially this game, I think it means a lot to Trinity. And it's 100 years of rugby. They like to win this, of course, so they could put pressure without knowing really, just by getting there, encouraging the boys, but all that builds up at the end of the day.
There you go, fabulous day live on Sirius TV. It's just 7 minutes gone in this first half. The Singer Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Match of the Century celebrated in no uncertain terms. And look at those lads celebrating with their school. It's brilliant. I mean, I haven't been in a stadium like this in a very long time. You can cut the tension and the emotion here.
Yes, I think it's a cauldron, as we said earlier, cacophony of noises. All kinds of events took place to build this game up to what it is now. And people have been here from 2 o'clock watching the junior games, which Trinity have won 2 junior games. And here's Kingswood. Just watch Veeraratne here, the schoolboy player of the last year.
No pressure on him. Oh, still on. Beautiful offload. But Trinity's defense very, very strong on the day. Still good, Ajit. The Trinity defense coming across really well.
Across very fast, but dangerous stuff for Trinity by Kingswood. They are showing that they are really going to attack Trinity, and they are attacking all the time.
Ajit, shouldn't Trinity, given the situation, shouldn't they really pull a flanker out or somebody else to come across? Because one-on-one might be difficult for Trinity.
They can't do it off a scrum, of course, but off the line out surely they should pull somebody out, because this three-quarter line with the Veeraratne, who is the highest try scorer last year, they are very dangerous.
Can they possibly drop the blind side winger and the open side winger, bring the fullback round and play maybe 3 at the back?
Yes, that's also an option, but that might show a negative type of play to begin with. But if it gets any worse in the sense of Kingswood attacking all the time, they might have to consider a defensive plan here.
Well, I need to just go through this because we were looking at the Trinity side. There's Hassan, Vikramasiri, Ranatunga, Vanigasekara, Madhuvela, Ranavana, Dean, Madhuma Patabendi, the captain, Manikam, Balasundaram, Sani Ratna, Samara Dikara, Tisera, Sanrat and Kirinda. That's the 15 on the park with Dean, Mazuk, Jacobs, Bandara, Javira, Gamage and Pires, with Nigel Crone, who's the coach, Anil Jayasinghe supporting him, and Daniel Tatuti and Lionel Crone, who's the son of Nigel Crone.
Yeah, they are here from New Zealand just for 2 weeks. They run pro sport in New Zealand, and that's the foremost events management team. And therefore, they have been doing a bit of work with the Trinity side and the Trinity coaches, and they have given a great input, and I'm sure it's going to count in the years to come.
Absolutely brilliant day, Ajit. Of course, lots of big-time rugby on the other side at Nitawala, with Kandy, the defending champions, playing CH, and I believe the scoreline
is CH leading 12-5. That may be heartening for the CR fans who had a bad time yesterday against Havelocks. Havelocks played so well. Back to the game here, and again we see the ball coming Kingswood way. Tremendous retention of ball by Kingswood, and that's a good charge down, and that's Manikam in the midst of the play again. He's been a great player in the past year, and he's turned out from the basketball court into a great rugby player.
Beautiful ball from the number 10, but unfortunately just a little bit over the top. You were saying about Manikam, a crossover from basketball. He really does have some silky smooth skills, Ajit. He really does look the part. He's a thinking man's rugby player, and I think he's got the ability to go all the way.
Yes, I think with Pushpakumar last year, they made up a formidable halves combination, and I'm sure with Anujan too, he might click this year. He should click, in fact, and they should put a lot of pressure on the side they're going to play this halves combination.
Here's ball from Kingswood, very focused, perfect line out, executed. And all that training, it comes good in these last minutes, and it's so important. There's the skipper, Navin Vijay Tunga getting the ball wide to Dev, and Veeraratne missed a little planned move for the number 14. Good pressure, maybe a little bit high. Yes, just a touch too high. Still, Ajit, Trinity, have a look at the replay. Here it is now.
I think there's no pressure on the centers here.
Absolutely no pressure, Ajit, and I think the drift defense is not working, because what they're doing is they're just waiting as opposed to drifting for the winger.
Warning, first warning. Next time high tackles, out you go. Yep. Talk to your boys.
Leroy is giving this player on the wing.
That's
next time
he's a first-year player.
we see the replay again, Kamshan. Oh, definitely, that's a very dangerous tackle.
Young players around Sri Lanka, so important that you dip and get your hands around somewhere around the waist is good. Anything above the shoulders, the referee will blow you. And if you are unlucky, it'll be a yellow card for sure, as Devanand settles the matter. Kingswood really have settled well. They've dominated, they've had possession. Trinity have been foraging with scrap ball. 12 minutes gone, nothing in it so far really.
Trinity had about 2 minutes of good play. They took play into the Kingswood 22-meter line area and dominated just for a couple of minutes. But this side has a lot of composure, and they are very mature players in this side. They settled out, and here you can see them foraging in. Once again, there's a pace coming up here. Red ball for Kingswood.
Good pressure ball, Ajit. Let's see what they do. Devanand, plan move, but good cover. Very good Trinity defense.
But Trinity is only defending. They are not retaining the ball, and this is very dangerous for Trinity. They need to get a touch of the ball and retain it, and this is a type of counter-attack that's needed for Trinity to get back into this game. And again, there's a high tackle, I'm sure.
What's the number 14, Ajit? That's Sanka Senarat. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes, Dilroy Fernando.
Captain, general warning to boys.
Yes, Sanka now. Oh, yes. No, that's a coat hanger.
Number.
That's just
Number?
Number 12.
Yes, and
Talk to all you boys, yep.
Sanka Senrat is involved in the game quite a bit. He came on the wing on this side, covering in an earlier occasion, and he's having a good touch on the ball. I think it's very important for players to have a touch on the ball early in the game, especially the third row. They need to get a touch on the ball. Ball retention is important. What we see that replay here, high tackle coming up, and oh gosh, he's got it right on, and he's got a
He just hung it out and pulled him down. Not on. And that was Tilina Manoj, the number 12 outside centre for Kingswood. He's been given a stern warning.
Coming up
Ajit, tell me about this. Trinity really, they're going to defend today, but they've got to also try and get as much position as they can.
Yes, they need to quieten their play a bit. I think they were overexcited to start with. They need to quieten, and this is a type of play they need to just take it up, set it up, get their faces going.
They need to play good basic rugby, Ajit, rather than try and complicate the matter.
Yes. Whoa.
Referee just the ball, good tackle coming in, you see the ball popping out, and that's body positioning, Ajit.
Yes, it's too high there.
Coming down.
Angle was not good, and you're asking for that type of tackle when you're running with a high body angle there. The man got it beautifully.
That's the replay, the unforced error.
Just saw an unforced error there, and this is what Trinity cannot do. They are getting the ball only.
First warning and the last. Next time it's free kick.
Retain the ball. They got to
going in early,
with them and not panic too much. They might have to slow down the game even just to get control of the game.
Well, I think the skipper's role is going to be critical today for Trinity. Kingswood, of course, have a very experienced hand. Good ball from Anikam. Look at that. That's what they're going to have to do, Ajit.
That's great stuff. This is Anochan, and this is Ratunga. This is going to be a great try from Trinity.
First try,
Completely against the run-up play. What a try by Kosala Tisera, last year's winger, and this is tremendous opportunist play, Tandashan.
Completely against the run-up play. One mistake. It was very slow service from the back from the scrum half. Here's that replay. Look at that.
Yes.
Beautiful hands. Good timing.
That's Anochan, yes. What a pass. And this man just tears a field here. And that's Kosala Tisera, wearing the number 13 jersey as centre. And what a try. The try he won't forget, Tandashan.
He won't indeed, Ajit. And of course, he's put on some weight. He's got stronger.
Yes.
And he's got a lot more confidence in his system. That was the number 9, Roshan Meeruratna, making the mistake. And here it is. Look at that. Padma Badabenda. Beautiful number 8 service. Just saw the men on the outside. 22 metres from the corner.
Sean Dean was quick to pounce on that, but the first honours goes to Manikam, who put the pressure on that scrummer, on the Kingswood scrummer.
Not converted, so 16 minutes gone in this first half, and really what a turn-up for the books. Trinity 5, Kingswood 0.
And
Ajit, bit of a shocker.
Bit of a shocker against the play, but no one will complain, Tandashan. The Trinity supporters have come alive. They were silent for some time, but now people going on the ground. Bit of panic, all wrong. Okay.
Just
there was a nervous time for Trinity. Nervous time for Trinity. Yeah, like you said, getting out of jail. And we see that again, Kingswood did not take that penalty. And I sincerely hope that they won't regret not taking that. Trinity had great turnover ball here, and they made use of a little unforced error by Kingswood. They're back in play. Kingswood running great angles. That's a great angle. What a great angle by that center. Straight up the field. And again, we see these Kingswood players are attacking all the time. They are attacking all the time.
Absolutely wonderful to see, Ajit. That's really what Kingswood are putting the pressure on. Camped here for the last 5-6 minutes. It's 22 minutes in the first half again. And Trinity's defense holds up.
What great defense, what a great
Good turnover.
Tremendous
Offside,
turnover.
number 30.
There's been a
Number 30, offside, number 30.
But the turnover by Sean.
Pressure, Ajit. Here's the replay coming up. Have a look at this. Trying to go, but no way through there.
You see that there was a man coming in from the side. That's where the Trinity hurt. But
Oh, give! Right time!
Kingswood on the attack. They were sure they were going to score, and they kept on going till they scored. What a great try, Chandushan. They knew they had to score. They didn't let up.
Good sides, Ajit, when they come in. Don't go back without the minimum of 3. Here's the replay. Look at that quick ball. And Trinity caught napping. Big wide ball from Devanand. And Veeraranda just takes ball for the winger. The number 14 just gets on the park. And in fact, it's Rajita Samaranayaka, the winger, opening the account for Kingswood. Beautiful try. Fabulously done. And 23 minutes gone with about 7-8 minutes to go to half time. Joining us on commentary, of course, a real privilege for everybody in Sri Lanka. The conversion just to come. Daniel, mate, how nice to see you in Sri Lanka. Welcome to Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much. We've had a great time here so far.
When did you come down?
We came down. Our flight was actually delayed by 24 hours, but we've been here for a good 3 days here so far and enjoying ourselves a lot.
Well, that's the voice of Daniel Hobart. He's the Aussie World Champion side from 99, played under John Eales. And Rohan Abekot, of course, managed to tag him. We tracked him down to the corners of France and managed to convince him to come out for this game. It's been so good so far.
Yeah, excellent. I thought Trinity started very well and got the early try, and I think Kingswood have come back, put all the pressure on in the last 10-15 minutes and have equalised just now, so it's turning into a cracker of a match.
Tell me about this, mate. Here you are in Sri Lanka, in the hill capital of Kandy. You're all the way from France. A school game, 6,000 people plus. What a sight is that?
I know, it's amazing. I mean, I made the point to some people yesterday that when I was asked to come over to Sri Lanka, I didn't realise the level of support that rugby had over here, particularly at a schoolboy level. It's unbelievable, and I haven't seen this in any other country in the world that I've travelled. I've been to a lot, so it's it's a great shot in the arm for rugby, and particularly for rugby in Sri Lanka.
Brilliant stuff. Here's a try replay coming up. Just look at this. It's good vision, good top, good offload.
Yeah, well, as a former centre myself, I mean, I love seeing that. He's very good on his feet, got on the outside of his man and put his winger away, which every good centre should do.
Tell me about this. Of course, standard school rugby in Australia is one thing that we've always talked about. How long have you been away from Australia now?
Well, I've been away for about 2.5 years. I originally went over to France on a rugby contract, and that's finished up now, and we're about to head back to Australia in a couple of weeks, but so far just enjoying the life in France.
Well, you've become one of the rugby ambassadors for Australia, of course. Tell us a little bit about Australia's fortunes these days.
Well, more recently, just today actually, they lost to the All Blacks, unfortunately. I heard they played a very good game but went down in New Zealand, which is a very hard place to play rugby, particularly against a very good team. I don't think New Zealand deserve the accolades of being the best team in the world at the moment. But we went through a bit of a rough patch last year. We lost 8 on the trot, which was a new record for Australian rugby. But we've started this season very well. We've changed our coach, and we got the Welsh coach involved as well, former Welsh coach, an Australian by the name of Scott Johnson, and everything seems to have picked up so far this year. I think they're starting to play a really good brand of rugby, and the big question is, can we do it in time for the World Cup next year? And hopefully, if things keep progressing, we're going to be there come the final stages anyway.
Well, I think everybody expecting you to be in the final stage. Of course, it would have been a nice feeling, whatever, beating England a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, no one enjoys beating England more than the Australians, so I was actually very pleased to see Sri Lanka touch them up 5-0 in the one-day series in cricket as well.
Absolutely, we just completely wiped them off the park. And of course, Daniel's got a big smile on his face. In terms of rugby and the school and the excitement, the passion is no shorter here, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I made the point that you would have to go to a Super 14 game or a test match to get this kind of atmosphere. It's hard to believe that there are only 6,000 people, but you must remember 6,000 people for a schoolboy rugby match. I mean, you don't get that in Australia even. I mean, perhaps for 1 or 2 games a year you might in Sydney, but certainly not in Brisbane where I grew up. So to have this kind of atmosphere, to have this kind of support, it shows that I think rugby in Sri Lanka is going from strength to strength.
Brilliant stuff. Of course, that's Daniel Hobart, the voice of Daniel Hobart. We managed to track him down and drag him all the way from the VIP grandstand. We're going to have a little chat with him live in the middle of the park at half-time. As soon as you now head up really hard, just driving and driving. They've got the pressure on. They've got to convert this pressure into points, eh, Daniel?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very close game. It'll be nice to get some points before half-time for either team.
On the ball,
There's a replay coming up. And I'm just going to let Daniel go off now because he's going to go and stand downstairs and talk live to this wonderful audience here at Bogambara Stadium. Daniel, thank you very much, mate. Nice having you here. I believe your family is here as well.
I'm here with my wife, so we're looking forward to enjoying a few days in Colombo after here. We've been put up very well in Kandy the last few days.
Well, absolutely brilliant to talk to a world champion. It's a real privilege. I'm going to shake your hand and say thank you very much. Nice to see you playing, of course, on that big stage, and I would look forward to maybe seeing you again because I know you're still playing.
Well, no, I've actually just retired. I've just finished the contract, so it's all over for me. But thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Brilliant. That was Daniel Hobart talking to you live here on Sirsa. We managed to drag him off, and we're just going to look at 28 minutes gone. It's Trinity 5, Kingswood College 7. Nothing in it really, just a 5-7 story. And we're going to be down in a second. I'm going to hand you over to Ajit Aberatna. We'll talk you through the game. Dilroy Fernando's had a great game so far. Trinity has put pressure, but they're just not converting it into points, Ajit.
Yes, I believe that they are not securing possession enough. They are not retaining the ball. A bit of over-anxiety. A bit more control will help. A bit more control. And I think the phases should come 3rd, 4th, 5th phase. And that control is not being seen by the Trinity side. But we are seeing Kingswood doing that. They are dominating this game, though it's only 5-7. Trinity just behind by 2 points. The dominance by Kingswood was much greater in this half. But we see an excellent break here, and this young man running down the wing. And we are seeing some exciting play by both sides. That was a great move by Trinity, but again, no finish, no continuance, and that is what is needed by Trinity, the continuance of the game. And many times there are breakdowns, and look at this run down the wing. Excellent run, but there should have been continuance from here. The ball died as the player fell, and that was it. We need support there. Trinity needs support. They need somebody close by to keep it going. But it's been a great half here at Bogambara, as both these wonderful sides are locking horns. 100 years ago, the match was drawn 6-all. 2 tries is at that time. A try was only 3 points. 6-all, and 100 years later, what an event here to have this match again being played. Trinity under pressure here. Pressure tells in a big game like this. People begin to crack sometimes, and Sankar Senarath could have got behind that ball, and again these little mistakes can cost Trinity much, because now the play is on the 22-meter line. Kingswood attacking Trinity, 22-meter line. TCK Trinity 5, Kingswood 7, and it's been a great first half. The ball has been sent around the backs beautifully. There has been no defensive play. There's been attacking rugby, and here's Kingswood once again. Watch these guys in action. Every move is a tactic, and we see a wonderful open play here. Number 14 in the play. Tremendous speed of backing up, but again a little elementary mistake there by Kingswood, and Trinity has the ball, and they should retain this, calm down, and start setting up from here. Okay, that strike, that ball has been kicked a bit awry, but again there's pressure on the number 15 of Kingswood, but he's quite cool and collected here, and does not find touch. Trinity has a chance to score here. This man should just take it up, and the ball is down on the floor. First phase coming up here. Collection to Anuchan, and there's a number 3 in the line. Slowing proceedings there. I think the forward shouldn't have been in that line because it slowed it some. But still, Trinity in the fray here. They're attacking 22-meter line. They've got a good position here, and this is Sean Wanikasekara driving forward. retain and won a game by Trinity. They need to have few faces, and again Anujan and Sean Manikasekara in the mall here, slowing proceedings perhaps.
Back!
Ball coming out again. This tremendous retention by Trinity. This is what is needed, and this is Anujan again, and we have Kosala Tisera backing him up.
Number 4.
There has been a penalty.
Number 4 offside. Number 4 offside.
We see the replay here, and referee Dilroy Fernando says offside, so he let the play go on. He want to see whether Trinity would make any advantage. They almost did, but it was spoiled there by a good Kingswood defense. Number 4 of Kingswood coming across very fast that time and spoiling that. Trinity would surely go for the penalty here. This is the tight game, and we see the replay here, and that's a good play, a lovely offloading there, tremendous backing up by Anujan, and then he goes to ground here, sets up, but number 11, we see that Senevi Ratna is floored there, and Dilroy Fernando goes back to the original spot for the penalty. Kicked away. That's a huge miss for Trinity. They could have got ahead just before the half time. They could have got into the lead with that kick under the post, but it was messed up. But they are back again. They'll be back again to fight another 30 minutes. Great 30 minutes of play here. Trinity started by attacking for 2 to 5 minutes. They were on the attack going forward, but Kingswood retained their composure, and right now we'll have some words from Shan. Shan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ajit. Here we are live. It's a beautiful day as the KCK Cadet Band comes out from the main entrance, and I'm stood here because I've got the absolute privilege of talking to Daniel Hobart, who's a world champion Australian. He's down here as part of the celebrations, the centenary celebrations. As you can see, it's been an absolute storm in the middle. The scoreline, 5-7, and nobody would have worked that out because everybody thought Kingswood were going to run out here today and have a real stormer. But Trinity, credit due to them and to their coach and the planning they have done. They've defended well, but they've had a few problems trying to get the ball over that line. So here's the halftime score, just a 5 to Trinity, and Kingswood just that one conversion separating them. Beautiful day at Bogumbura. Unbelievable, because when you consider that the last 5 days it's absolutely bucketed down with rain, and today, as the weather gods would, well, what can I say? They've been kind, everybody's smiling. And standing next to me is possibly one of the most high-profile players to come to Sri Lanka, Mr. Daniel Hobart. How are you doing today?
Very well indeed. Fantastic day, fantastic atmosphere. So I'm very happy to be here.
Daniel, tell me a little bit about this. Of course, going live in Sri Lanka, it's a school match, and you're here as guest of Trinity College. The experience of seeing a game like this with 6,000 plus people, what sort of feeling is that?
I think it's very impressive for a schoolboy match to have 6,000 people. I was just saying that I think you would need to go to a Super 14 match or a Test match in Australia to get this kind of atmosphere. So I think both schools and the organiser of the event should take a bow because it's a great atmosphere here today.
Daniel, school rugby in Sri Lanka, you're all the way here. You were on the big stage, 99, when you won the World Cup as part of the Australian outfit under John Eales. The passion isn't any less.
Absolutely not. I mean, the core values of rugby hasn't changed, and it's good to see that it's spread all over the world. I mean, no matter where you go these days, you can rustle up a game of rugby, and it's great to see that here in Sri Lanka, when an avid sports fan in Australia always considered cricket to have a stranglehold on sports. If you come here and have a look at today, you'd never guess that. I mean, rugby is going here.
Daniel, of course, seeing the kids play today is a big surprise for you, I know. In Australia, you wouldn't get this sight, would you?
No, definitely not. And it definitely wouldn't be televised. I mean, I made the point, I've only seen it in South Africa, in rugby mad South Africa, where a schoolboy match has been televised. So I think it's fantastic for the sport in Sri Lanka that it's televised and we have such a great crowd, because people are going to be sitting at home saying, I want to be involved with rugby, and that's what it's all about.
When you're talking about rugby mad South Africa, well, Sri Lanka is certainly rugby mad in every sense of the word. Of course, Australia now on the big stage. Tell us a little bit about Aussie and the World Cup ambitions.
Yeah, well, we're coming up to, I think, maybe 14, 15 months away from the World Cup, and the Australian team aren't doing too badly, although they went down today to the All Blacks in New Zealand. It probably wasn't too much of a surprise touched up the British Lions a little while ago, but the Australian team's on the improve, and that's all we can hope, because they had a pretty down year last year, and they've had a few changes there, and now they're going from strength to strength. So I think whether we have enough time or not is the big question, but we are improving, and hopefully, as I said before, come finals time, hopefully we'll be there or thereabouts.
Well, I'm going to make you smile now, because Sri Lanka also had a good run against England. Must have been good, eh?
Absolutely. I mean, no one loves beating England more than Australia, and I was very happy to see that Sri Lanka did so well in the cricket. 5-0, I think it was.
Absolutely. We wiped the floor and knocked them out of the park. But tell me this, at the end of the day, of course, rugby is very much part of your life. What more rugby for Daniel Hobart?
Well, from now, I mean, I'm heading back. I'm living in the south of France at the moment. I'm about to go back to Australia, and I guess I'll see you then. I'll definitely be involved in some kind of coaching. I'll probably want to have a year or so away from the high-level rugby, but in a few years' time, who knows, I might get back into the coaching side and see where it takes me from there.
Daniel, of course, you're visiting Sri Lanka for the first time. Tell us your impression of coming home to our country.
Well, it's fantastic. I mean, it reminds me a lot of northern Queensland and Australia. So, having not been home for the last 2.5 years, I feel right at home. And Kandy reminds me so much of northern Queensland, and the weather and everything else. It's so tropical and green. I mean, it really is a beautiful place.
Well, I know you're holidaying here with your wife as well. We're going to make you an honorary Sri Lankan, put you in a sarong before you go back to Queensland or back to France. But more importantly, tell us a little bit in terms of Sri Lanka rugby school, the quality of the game in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had a great game here so far, a great spectacle. I've been very impressed with a lot of the players there, and they certainly wouldn't look out of place in a national schoolboy team in any country in the world. I mean, there's been some really good play, some very exciting back play in the centres, and a lot of speed on the wing, and I love seeing some forwards who can run, and I've seen a couple of those today, and putting, particularly for the Trinity first try, the number 7 and 8 link very well with the backs. It's a very good coaching, and it shows some good instincts from those players. And then at the end we saw Kingswood. I mean, well, at the end some great centre play, and put the winger and
does have good pace, and he knows he's a finisher. He's happy, the number 13. Look at that. That's the flanker picking up. Beautiful hands, and just the good time pass for the winger to just come round, finish it off strong. Beautiful, wonderful to see. And here's a Kingswood reply. Nice long cutout pass, and we're back live. Kickoff has happened, so we'll just cut back to the competition.
Yes, thank you. As Kingswood kicks off here, ball collected by Sean Manigasekara. Pass that's not too good along the ground by Manikam, but Trinity plays safe here, gets touched by the halfway line. Great start for Trinity. This is good position for them. If they can win this line out here, they should be able to dominate this next couple of minutes. We see that this is the 100th match. It's quite interesting to note that 100 years ago, the Kingswood side had 12 burger lads, 12 burger gentlemen playing for Kingswood at that time, and Trinity were mainly all Indian names like Halangoda, Ratwate, and now 100 years ago things have changed a bit, the names are different, and what a great event this is at Bogambara, a once in a lifetime event. Another interesting point, 100 years ago, in 1908, Kingswood soccer team was captained by one Mr. C.J. Bijud. Now why I'm saying that is that he decided to send his son to Trinity, and he became a famous star for Trinity. 758. We see the replay here, and that's not easily offloaded there, but there's a great sprint there by the number 11, but the ball not secured. And Ken Bijud turned out to be a star for Trinity. 57-58. He was a linesman and captain Trinity for 2 years. Now that's it. I was talking about his father, who was in Kingswood in 1908. He was the Kingswood soccer captain. So there are all kinds of little stats here coming up which are interesting. 1970 was captained by Ajit Alfonso, and he was in fact a Trinitian who left Trinity in 1968, went to Kingswood and captained Trinity in 1970.
Beautiful head up Ajit by skipper Madhuman. They're just taking on ball, but they just might lose it. Yes, it's a turnover ball. Kingswood we were just going through their history, of course. The history is beyond all of us, that it is so brilliant. 100 years of celebration. You can't really get enough in, can you?
Tackle.
Yes, there's so much to talk about when you talk
Use
about
it.
100 years.
No hand.
But it's again interesting to know that Kingswood stopped playing after a few years, and that is because one of their lads died on the field, and they seriously started playing in the late 60s. And from that time they've been quietly creeping into the scene, and 2003 to 2006 or 2005 have been their best years.
Here's a replay of that ball, just the hands. There you go, he was actually over the line. I've got a little bit of stats on Kingswood. I did Kingswood history, Mr. E.H. Spencer, first prefect of games who started rugby under the guidance of the late L.E. Blaze, the founder principal of Kingswood, in 1891.